Thank you very much for inviting me here to MSI. My name is Xantone Blacq, and I started my musical journey. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, and my parents were Christians. So the Nigerian church is quite special in that it has a lot of musical instruments inside. So you have musicians playing. And the coolest guys in the church were the percussionists, the guys playing congas, bongos, hand percussion. And as a 3-year-old, I wanted, of course, to be like the coolest guys. So that's what I started doing. And I didn't do it because I thought I was going to become a musician, or even that those guys were musicians. I just looked at them as the cool guys. So I started playing percussion when I was probably about 3 or 4. And then I went to the UK when I was about 9. And when I started studying in the UK, I stopped playing music cold for 9 years. Basically between 9 and 18, I stopped playing music. Not because of any reason, it's just I wasn't a musician, so I didn't think I should play music. And about 18 at school, one of my friends said that I had a voice. He liked what I had, and he said, you should do something with your voice. And that was the first time that I thought, okay, maybe I can do something with this. So when I left school, I joined some boy bands, this kind of thing. Boy band, got together. 1 year later, you break up, or even 3 months later, you break up, and then you join another boy band. And I did that for a period of time. And then I decided I got very bored of this. I didn't want to do the boy band thing anymore, and I was going to be a solo artist. So I started working on that as a singer and as a songwriter, a lyric writer and melody writer. But I didn't want to be handicapped by needing someone else to play the music for me. So I bought a second-hand keyboard and I started teaching myself from scratch how to play piano, how to make sense of this thing. And I've been on that journey now for, I guess, about 18 years, I think it is. About 18, 19 years, yeah, I've been doing that journey now. And it's been very, very cool. So I'm not a studied musician in the sense of going to an academy or an institute or music school like this great place here. But I was very much someone who would ask lots of questions from my friends who were better than me, who knew more than me, not just pianists, not just singers, guitarists, sax players, whoever. And I listened a lot, and as time has gone on, I've listened more, watched more documentaries, read more books, and all these kinds of things that are the things that help you become what you are. So that's how my thing. Yeah, this is interesting because in Nigeria, growing up, I was listening to the music that was around me in Nigeria, the traditional music. So stuff like, there's a style of music called juju, which is, I think juju is really more a Yoruba. Yoruba is an ethnic group in Nigeria. It's very much a Yoruba style of music. So I was listening to that, which had a lot of rhythms, and it also had harmony. That was when I first came across the concept of two voices singing the same thing, same words at the same time, but with different melodies, which were complementary. So and it was, of course, there were things like The Sound of Music. The film The Sound of Music was massively influential on me growing up because I watched that a million times, and that, of course, talked about music. Michael Jackson, I remember when the Thriller album turned up at our house, and people would be like, oh, there's a new Michael Jackson album coming out, and the vinyl, the LP turned up, and that was a big deal, and we listened to it. So that kind of stuff, Stevie Wonder stuff as well, I guess, Fela Kuti, his stuff when I was growing up, so Afrobeat. But then when I came to the UK, I was listening to just pop, like whatever pop was around. So, and when I started learning, as in, okay, I really want to, before I started singing properly, like focusing, I listened to a lot of New Jack Swing. So people like a band called Guy, and I'm trying to think, I guess Charlie Wilson and the Gap Band a little bit, but I listened to, a lot of these swing artists, New Jack Swing artists. And then one day a friend of mine came round when I started saying, okay, I'm going to learn the piano, and he brought Herbie Hancock's Headhunters album, And I remember I listened to this album and I was like, what is this? You know, what is this rubbish? You know, well, I don't understand this. Because at the time, I was listening to Mariah Carey, R. Kelly. I was listening to R&B at that time. So Mariah Carey, R. Kelly, Aaliyah, whoever, you know, Jodeci, Boyz II Men, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't understand this concept of instrumental music, number one. I didn't really understand this concept of improvising. But after a period of time, I started getting into it, and Herbie Hancock was a really huge influence on me. I mean, like a massive, massive influence at the beginning. Not in the sense that I sat there transcribing lots of Herbie Hancock songs, because transcription, strangely enough, somehow, it's never quite sat with my spirit. I do some, but I'm not one of those people who transcribes loads and loads. But I just listened to it a lot, and I loved it a lot. And I checked out then from there, of course, Miles Davis and some Chick Corea, who currently now, I mean, like for the last few years, I'm listening to a lot of Chick Corea and checking out his masterclasses and his thoughts and all these kinds of things. So yeah, those kind of guys. I started listening to jazz funk, Roy Ayers, Don Blackman, Stanley Clarke, you know, all those kind of cats. As well as Erykah Badu, D'Angelo, Roy Hargrove, those guys. Yeah, so lots of different things. Yeah, I mean, that was fortunate. I was lucky because it wasn't because at the time that I was some kind of really amazing keyboard player who needed to be, who Amy just like, I just have to have this guy. It didn't work like that. It was my first big gig. And I was, or my first big pop gig, anyway, let's put it that way. I was out. That's the thing I'd advise people to do, musicians. I was out there playing. I wasn't going to lots of jam sessions. I'd already been through that period and I wasn't doing that so much. But I was open to collaborating with people, and there was a band called, what do they call themselves? I think they called themselves Green at this point. And they said, oh, Zan, can you come and play with us and play second keyboards? Because they had a really great keyboard player already called Sam Best, great guy. And I played with Green for a period of time, like just a few shows playing, you know, synths and things. And Sam was the keyboard player for Amy Winehouse. And Sam was having his last year of university, so he had all his finals coming up, and there was the big tour. There was basically Back to Black was just released, and the touring was just about to start, the promo for that. So Sam said, I'm really sorry, I cannot do it. Zan, would you be interested in doing this? And I was like, of course, I'd be interested, because I'd already come across Amy's music from her first album, from Frank. And that, it's basically around December 2006, Sam told me about this thing. I got in contact with the musical director, Dale, another great guy. And Dale Davis sent me the music. And over Christmas, I had to learn this music, like 25 songs, like, you know, 2 albums, like just sit there listening and transcribing this stuff. And I went to the first rehearsal, which was around the 5th of January. It was very early, or 3rd of January, really. And I did the rehearsal. And, you know, I worked out these chords and everything. But the music had evolved. The live playing, they'd maybe substituted this chord, or done this or done that, so that stuff had changed. But, I mean, I did all right. I did cool in the rehearsal. And that was it. I mean, it was as simple as that. I went through the rehearsal. I did well enough in the rehearsal. I got on with everybody, and that was that, you know. And the thing which also actually was a really big help for me getting the Amy gig, getting the gig with Amy, was that I sing and play. So they were really keen to find somebody who played piano but who could also do backing vocals. And I still struggle with this concept, because people tell me, oh, it's so hard to find people in London, for example, who sing and play. I imagine there must be millions of people who sing and play piano. But for some odd reason, there seems to be a shortage. At least this is what I'm told. So that really played in my favor of getting Amy's gig. Yes. The first thing I would say to anybody who is coming up, who's making their way up, is love what you do. I think that is the really primary thing to do. And by love what you do, that means that the music you're writing and you're playing should be music that you love. It should be music, yeah, it should be music that you love, not music that you think will sell. Because the drive often in the industry, to be honest, speak frankly, is to sell as many records as possible. It's not really necessarily about the art of it. And the reason why I think it's important to love what you do is that in everybody's lives and in everybody's careers, you are going to hit at least one, if not several, tough spots. It's points where you think, should I give up doing this because this is really hard, I'm not making enough money, or my dreams are, oh, this isn't working out, I'm working like crazy, but no one likes it, whatever. Now, if you love what you do, the love is the thing that will help you make it through the difficult spots, through the turbulence. But if you don't love what you do and you're doing it for some other reason, there's a very good chance that when the tough times come, you will break, and you will fall apart. So I always say to people, for example, if you're going to write a song, why not write a song that you love? Because even if you write a song that you love, if nobody in the world likes it or loves it, nobody else, at least one person in the world loves it or likes it. But if you write a song which you don't love yourself, but you write it because you think you're being clever and you can sell it and whatever else, and you don't love it, and nobody else in the world loves it, 0 people in the world love this thing. So I think that loving what you do is really, really at the heart of it. 1. 2 is understanding that what you're doing as a musician in your career, and also as a human being, is a journey. And I know it's a cliche, but it is a journey in the sense that there is never a point where you get there. Oh, when I get there, I'll be happy. There is no there, because you'll get to where you said there was, and then when you get to there, it's like walking on a road. You get to this point, and you see further down the road, and you go, oh, actually, when I get there, I'll be happy. So if you can approach the whole thing as a journey and something that is gradual and continuous, and be happy and accept and enjoy where you are presently, you will be happy and have longevity. But if you're always looking at, oh, it's only when I get here I'll be happy, you'll never be happy. So it's really important to be happy with where you are. Oh, okay, I can't play as many licks as Herbie Hancock, or I can't do blah, blah, but I'm not there yet, but I'm here and I can do this, which is more than I could do yesterday or whatever, so I'm here. So it's this thing of being present, enjoying the present, accepting the present, loving what you do, working hard, but the working hard will be something which most of the time will be a good thing for you because you love what you do. If you work hard doing what you don't love, after a period of time it gets very tiresome. So love what you do, work hard, be patient. There are things that appear with time that you didn't even plan, or you didn't even work for, skills that develop in you that just appear just because of time. You don't plan to grow a beard when you're a child, but just because of time, things evolve and a beard starts growing, and it's the same thing with music. There are things which you don't plan to do, and you end up with these abilities that are like, wow, that's a really cool ability. That's just time, that's from doing it long enough. You will, and that's the thing, it's like it's not even that you'll get there eventually, because there's always this feeling of, oh, I'm not there yet, oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, it's not a case of you'll get there eventually. You are there right now, and you are always there. It's just that you're at different types of there as you go along. So it's that thing of, no matter where you are, be happy with where you are. Value, that's what it is actually, value where you are. I've released 2 albums. I've released 2 albums so far. One in 2006 called To the Heavens and Beyond, and another one in 2011 called Revelation, and they're both available on iTunes. The physical CD copies have sold out, so I need to manufacture more. And actually, I'm a good case in point of an independent musician who funded his own thing. So I funded my own first album and both my albums, sorry, and I've funded my band. I've had a band since 2003, I guess. I've been doing that. And at the beginning, there have been points where I have not got paid, and I've paid the guys, you know, so there's that kind of process that you go through. But it was cool, especially when I was doing the stuff with Amy, because the money that I could make doing my day jobs, so to speak, with Amy, meant that I could, on my own private projects, I had more leeway, I had more flexibility. So yeah, so I've got those 2 albums. I'm recording my 3rd album right now. The thing which is very interesting about recording my 3rd album now is that I've been through some really interesting life experiences which have not been good necessarily. Well, they have been good, but at the time did not feel good. Felt very negative. I went through a period where I really seriously thought about giving up music, literally like 2012, because I came back from a tour and I'd had this fantastic tour with an artist called Nigel Kennedy. And I came back and I was like, what am I doing with my life? You know, my own stuff, nothing's happening, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm lost. And for 2 years, I was lost. And finally, I thought to myself, this is not who I am. I'm not a person who's like a down person, I'm a very up person. So I started building myself back up again because I was smashed to pieces. And I think this thing is something which, if you live for long enough, even if you're not a musician, everybody goes through this. And it's a way of, for me, it's a rebirth. Because as you're growing up, there is social programming. Society tells you, you're supposed to do this, this is how you behave. Your parents tell you, this is how you behave. Your friends tell you, your teachers, etc., etc., etc. And some of the things that these people are telling you, pretty much all of it is for love. They tell you because they love you. But some of it does not sit with your personality, your instincts, and your reality. You don't realize it at the time, but when you're older and you start looking at everything you believe and everything you've been taught, and you think, okay, does this work for me? Then you realize that some of these things, no, they're the things that everybody is supposed to do, but that doesn't mean that you, if you want to be happy, you should do this. So online, you can hit me up on Facebook. There is, under my name, Xantone, X-A-N, N for November, T-O-N for November, E, with the accent. Blacq, B-L-A-C-Q, Xantone Blacq, so I'm on Facebook. Please definitely connect with me there. I'm also on Twitter, and that's just Xan Blacq, X-A-N, Blacq, all one word. Or was it 2 words? I think it's one word. At Xan Blacq, all one word. There's my website, which is looking more at how I use music for film or for advertising, that kind of stuff, music for synchronization. And those would be, yeah, the easiest ways to reach me. Talking about other projects that I'm up to, I'll be quick. I have a project that I manage called Amy Lives. And Amy Lives is a project which doesn't focus on Amy herself, but focuses more on the music, focuses entirely, in fact, on the music that Amy wrote, and how we can evolve the music, because I'm pretty sure that if Amy was alive, she would not be recording this music and playing it like in 2007. So it features the original band members of Amy's band, so we've got a really colourful show, and it uses the music of Amy, but also segues in songs which by artists that Amy respected, and songs which harmonically make sense and resonate. So her song Addicted goes really well with Stevie Wonder's Golden Lady, so those kinds of things. There's a fabulous trumpet player called Patches Stewart. He's played with Quincy Jones, he was with Al Jarreau for about 10 years, and Marcus Miller for a number of years recently, and we've got a project together with the 2 of us, so there's that project. Trying to think, yeah, there's me with a great drummer called Tony Match. We have a duo with a great UK singer called Omar, and Vanessa Haynes, who sings with Incognito. So there are a bunch of different projects, and that again is something I would say to someone coming up in the music industry, is think of something which is unique, you need to be clever, it needs to be something you love, but also if you can make it something that is of interest to people. I mean, I was going to say marketable, but really, when you say marketable, I think there's something almost cynical about that statement. It's something which is of interest. So it's find what you love, which is also of interest to people. And if you find that happy medium, you'll be good.
don't worry about making money. I know that sounds really counterintuitive, but my feeling about it is if you go and chase money, you rarely ever get it. The best thing you can do, or you rarely get it in a happy way, the best thing that you can do, in my humble opinion, is to find what you love, go back to this thing, work really hard at what you love, and be brilliant at what you love. And if you do this, if you work hard at what you love, and you're brilliant at what you love, the word brilliant is from the Latin word, I can't remember, from brilliant, you know, to shine. And basically, you will shine. Now, humans like shiny things, shiny cars, shiny jewels, you know. And if you shine, people will come to you. And they will want to pay you to experience and to be around your shininess. So, love what you do. Spend a lot of time doing it. Be brilliant at it. Maintain your love in it. And you will shine. And that will attract the people. And it will attract the money. Not the other way around of go and chase the money and then try and find the best way you can get the money. It's the wrong way around. That's the order.
To listening to your upcoming projects.